Hey guys, in this YouTube video, I'm going to show you how you can personalize your messages when performing cold outreach at scale. So this automation is going to take any relevant information from your prospect or lead that's on the internet, and it's going to turn it into a personalized message that really feels like you typed it up yourself, although it's going to be typed up by AI, and then it's going to put it back into your CRM, whether that's your Google Sheets, Airtable, Go High Level, whatever it is. It's going to put it back in there, ready for you to pull when you're performing your cold outreach. So this automation is super advantageous for those doing outreach because most of the time, all you really see is variable substitution, but this is an actual message crafted for a single individual, and super valuable if you're reaching out to high ticket clients or prolific leads. And I'm actually doing this for two high ticket clients myself, just so you can get an idea. One is a medical startup that's looking to connect with medical professionals, specifically surgeons, neurosurgeons, and cardiologists. And the other one is general contractors. And they're a little bit different. I have to validate the medical professionals a little bit more, but nonetheless, it's the same concept of the automation. You just have to tweak a couple of things. And I'm only telling you guys that because the options are endless when it comes to how you create these automations. You don't have to copy and paste the one that I'm going to show you here exactly how it is. You can allow yourself the creativity to change it, tweak it, mess around, experiment. Obviously, you want to test it out to make sure it works, but I want to share this with you guys because automation has changed my life. And if I can share that with somebody else, I'm happy to do so. So let's get right into it. So right here in front of us, this is the cold email campaign for the general contractor. I'm going to show you the lead list. We have the name, first name, last name, company URL, company name, their title, email. This is the personalization that we filled out. And then this allows me to ensure that they don't get added twice into our instantly campaign. Here's the thing. All you really need is their first name, last name, and their title. That's all you really need, or their position or headline, whatever it is that you would look up on Google that you can get more information on pertaining to that title. So that's all you really need. Aside from some point of contact, you actually will need an email at some point, but you can just scrape that off of Applify. Even though I scraped all of these off of Applify, I didn't get the email for all of them. So, and then even if you do get the email for all of them, if you want to further enrich or filter or refine your search, putting it through this Perplexity module will allow you to do that, because you don't want to waste any credits on your instantly campaign or Galaxy invitation credits. So just something to think about. So what we do is we search rows, and the filter that I have here is if the personalization doesn't exist and the email does exist. So all I'm doing is pulling this data from Applify, and as long as they have an email and I haven't personalized their personalization yet, it's going to pull that row. What's next is we have Perplexity here. And then I'm going to map out the name, the title, and the company name. So this is their full name. This is their title and the company name. So if you put that into Perplexity, you're going to get, I would hope, a bio on this person or more information. And that way, what we do is if the article or the result is greater than 300 characters, there's probably something relevant about this person. If it's less than 300 characters, they're probably, I don't want to say a nobody, but they might not be, someone that we want to reach out to. So as long as they meet this requirement of 300 characters or more in the output of the Perplexity module, then we generate an icebreaker. And by the way, this was all inspired by Nick Sarov. I highly recommend you go check him out. Anyway, going back into the ChatGPT module, which is next, we just put in a couple of prompts here. So the system prompt is telling ChatGPT it's an intelligent, helpful writing assistant. And then the user here is we tell it to generate an icebreaker for us. So the tone of voice is casual, no fancy language, don't get super upbeat or be repetitive. And we ask ChatGPT to look for plausible but vague connections whenever it can. Respond in JSON using this format, and no exclamations, no questions, don't be overly excited, all that jazz. And we also give an example. You want to give ChatGPT an example whenever possible, so it just learns as it's not only giving its answers, but it can refer to this over and over again. Next, we have the user the user prompt, and this is actually just an example output that I put here. So this is an example of the, oh no, I'm sorry, that's the example input, and then this is the example output right here. So the input is going to be a user because that's what the role would be when it receives the input. And then the assistant role is the output because that's what ChatGPT is going to refer to when looking to complete the prompt. So it looks like this. It's in JSON format. And then we have another user prompt here, or user role prompt. And then that's when we put everything together. So we just put the content that Perplexity spits out. And then just to save some tokens, we get rid of any new lines. And that's about it. After that, we parse the JSON and we parse the result. That way we're able to get the icebreaker and we put it back into our Google Sheets. That's like our CRM. Now you might be asking, okay, so then how do we add it to the campaign? I have a whole separate automation for that. And the reason why is just because I just wanted to get the personalization first so I could look over it if I needed to. And then what this does here, this automation here, it's super simple. So it only searches for rows that have a personalization and have an email and they haven't been triggered, added to the instantly campaign, right? So if all these filters apply, then it'll get added to the instantly campaign, and then we update the column to true. Previously, I had these two modules added to the instantly right away, but I just didn't like that at first, just because I was running into some issues. I probably could put it back now, but I just wanted to explain why that was there. So why don't I build this out right in front of you guys? Or let me show you how it works, actually. Let's just do that. So I think we're at, what are we at? So notice how some of these are blank, by the way. The reason why those are blank is because they don't have an email. And that's fine. If they don't have an email, they don't have an email. I'm just going to leave it alone. So cool. So we're at 675. I think we have 2,000 leads. Why don't I just do another 100? I'll just do another 100. And you could just run it all at once. You could do another like 1,000 at a time, but I just like to do it in batches of 200 to 500, just so I can make sure that every time it's going through, it's fine. I have seen people prompt their GPT modules a lot more extensively than mine. And I think when you do it like that, you'll get better results. Not even I think, I know you will. So one recommendation that I could give to you is maybe giving more input and output prompts. That way it just doesn't stray away from that pattern, because sometimes ChatGPT does get lazy. Anyway, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set the limit to 150. And then I want to show you guys how this populates. So I'm going to hit run. Cool. So that looks good. That looks good. And this is just going to keep on going. So if we go to the lead list, we can see these start populating here. So yeah, David just came up. Notice you're balancing projects between, yeah. It's a little, that's pretty casual, not gonna lie. Okay, so we have Bill here. Your work on the Holy Rosary Parish Pastoral Center caught my eye. It's not every day you see a project that brings community together like that. Yeah, that's fine. So you guys get the idea. And then once all these populate, I'll just run the add to instantly campaign here. If I wanted to save like a fraction of the operations cost, I could just set these modules up here and then have it be added to instantly, but I didn't want to do that. So that's what this is. I'm going to build up a new one for you guys. I'm sure I'll save the changes, whatever they are. So I'm going to create a new scenario. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your Google Sheets. You're going to add a search rows module, and then you're going to find your lead list. Then from there, you're going to take the sheet name, make sure it matches the sheet name of your lead list. Now, rather than adding the filters here in the module itself, I want to show you guys a different way that you can add the filters. It's really personal preference. I believe that you might be spending more operations by adding the filters in the routes, because it's going to pull more from the module and then, filter out whatever isn't used. So If you want to spend more on your ops, you could do that. It's not necessary. I mean, it might be. Maybe you want to see what gets filtered out. But sorry, guys. Okay, so then we have Perplexity module next. So you're going to do create a chat completion and then on YouTube cold outreach. Okay, perfect. Just want to make sure I get that. Click the small model because I just don't think the large is necessary. And then you're just going to map whatever is relevant. So in our case, it's going to be the name, it's going to be the title, and then it's going to be the company name. That's it. And then you're going to press OK. Next, you're going to go to, what is it? Let's figure it out. Oh, you're going to generate an icebreaker right away. Okay, so we're creating a chat completion here. And what this is going to do is this is going to generate the icebreaker. So that's what I'm going to name it. And this is the icebreaker. So we're going to take the wrong one. We're going to take the icebreaker from here. And then I like to use the 4.0 model. And first you want to give ChatGPT a simple role. So I'm going to give it developer. You are a helpful, or actually you're an intelligent, helpful admin. I hope I spelled administrative right, did I? Yeah, I did. Cool. Okay, so you're an intelligent, helpful administrative assistant. Your task is to generate I'll just paste it here. So I think what I did here was I gave it a user prompt. So I'm going to paste that. Oops. I'm going to paste that in here. So write an icebreaker, a one-line customized introduction for a cold email campaign. Use the provided data from a Google search as context. So we're actually pulling this stuff from Perplexity. I'm telling it the tone of voice should be casual bar conversation and very Spartan. Be observant, no fancy language, not overly upbeat, and don't get repetitive in your icebreaker. Look for plausible but vague connections whenever possible, and then respond in JSON only. Use this format, no exclamations, no questions, don't be overly excited, and always address lead by their first name. I noticed that ChatGPT got lazy and didn't even include their name sometimes. So you want to make sure that they're doing that. And one way that we could go about that is just by adding more prompts here. So we would put in user. Let's see if we have any. Yeah, we have one right here. So let me just take one of these. So what I'll do is I'm going to copy this. And this is going to be an example of a user prompt. So I'm going to put user. Actually, I'll just do that. Yeah, because it would be a user prompt. And then I would give it example output. Role assistant. And then you would put the output here. So where can we get that from? Now I got to find Kent. Let me see. If I just go here, I think I should be able to find it. So operation 13. Let me go here. It should be here. Operation 13. Nope, that's Johnny. There's Kent. Perfect. And then we'll go back here. And then the assistant context would be there. I don't know if I like that though, to be honest. There's got to be a better one. Let's take a look. Yeah, see, ChatGPT gets lazy sometimes. All right, I like this one here. It's a bit more personal. That's operation 43. So what we'll do is we'll paste that into the assistant as a example of what we're looking for. So we'll go to operation 43 here. What was that guy's name? Shit. Kevin? Michael. His name is Michael. Oh no. We might not find it. Oh, here we go. Michael Kramer. Right, and then we just paste that there. That's better. And then we'll get rid of all that. Okay, cool. So we have, just to start from the top, we have the user prompt giving ChatGPT exactly what to, system prompt telling it it's an intelligent, helpful administrative assistant. We have a user prompt telling it what its role is, what it needs to do. And then we have a user prompt again giving it an example of the input. Then we have an assistant prompt or assistant role giving it an example of the output. Now we're going to add one more prompt. It's going to be a user prompt, and we are going to give it the Perplexity output. Bam. Right, there we go. And then lastly, what we do is we're going to map the outcome back into a Google Sheets, if I'm not mistaken. It's that simple, guys. Oh, you have to parse the JSON, excuse me. So link that. And then parse JSON. And then it'll be the result from ChatGPT. Is it just result or messages? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Let's see. Let's test this out so far. And let's see what happens. And let me just set this to 10. And then we want to make sure that the filter here is found someone. The condition is that the content is less than, yeah, the length. That's what it is. I could just do this. Is greater than 300 characters. So numeric greater than 300. Perfect. Bam. All right, let's see. Cool. So it looks like we found some people. Hey, Eric, architecture to real estate development, such a natural evolution. Always admire when design meets business. There you go. That's money. Hey, Mark, 35 years in real estate. Hey, Mark, 35 years in real estate and helping bring SF Jazz to life, impressive mix of business and culture. Perfect, guys. That's exactly what we want. This is actually better than the previous one that I just built. And you know why it's better? Because it stopped getting lazy and it stopped saying, hey, I noticed this. Hey, I noticed that. And that's all because of the user and system prompts, or excuse me, user and assistant prompts that you give it. So if I gave it like 2 more of those, it would probably be even better. But what we do now is we're going to take the JSON string, and we have the result right here, which is the icebreaker. And then that will allow us to map everything back into our CRM, which is this one right here. And of course, it's not going to show me. So what I'll do is I'll have to do it manually, probably. Yeah, I noticed when you use a Google Sheets module before another Google Sheets module, for some reason, you're not able to map the path automatically. The sheet name is sheet 1, row number is right here. And then what we're going to do is, I believe it's that's the personalization. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the, let me take one of these examples. I'm going to run this module so I can get an example out of it. Perfect. We have the JSON string there. Now we should be able to map it. So it's I, and then yeah, we have the icebreaker here. Perfect. Beautiful. Now let's run it all together. But here's the thing. We needed to add these filters. So in the previous module, the filters that I had were right here in the within the Google module itself. But this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that it's in the filters, or it's in the route. And it's the personalization, which is column I, and the email column H. So what we're going to do is the condition is the personalization, which is I, does not exist. So if it does not exist and their email exists, which is right here. So under these two conditions, it will pull from the Google Sheet, and we run it. Interesting. Oh, it's starting from the beginning. So let's see, how can we fix that? Row number sending. Oh, you know what? I think the reason why. So if this is correct, okay. Well, I just learned something new, guys. The reason why it's starting from the beginning every single time, it's not going to pick up where it left off. So because I didn't map these filters into the module itself, it's not picking up anything. So, because it starts from the beginning, if that makes sense. So what I'm going to do is personalization does not exist and email exists. So I guess we're just going to have double filters. I could just remove the filter on the other one, but it's no big deal. So I guess we can have it in the modules. That's fine. Cool. And then now we're running more. So let me just make sure that this is working properly. And if it is, we should be seeing new personalizations be generated from where we left off, which is around row 700 or 800. So let's see. So we should see them here. And we do. Perfect. These are great. This is great. There we go, guys. So that's how you build this automation. What you're going to do then is you just take this Google Sheet, drop it into your Instantly, and you map the personalization from there, and it's ready to go. So I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions or you want to see a certain type of automation, leave it down in the comment below, and I'll be sure to get back to you. See you in the next one.